Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Thursday, and we are now sitting here at the, 3rd of March, 2022. First, I'm going to be gone next week. I'm going to take off, head out west, and enjoy the beautiful weather, although it is getting nicer in Chicago. Going to be 60s in the weekend. But during that time, I will not be in my studio, so we'll put up a few videos that you can watch from time to time. I'll be back the following week, so I'm not disappearing for good, just for a few days, and I do want to take a break. If you think trading these crazy markets is easy, try running a brokerage firm where people get themselves in the wrong direction and the market just zooms on them. It's absolutely terrible. All right, so as we look at it, the gold's still holding here in the 1940 area. We're looking at silver still over the 25 zone. You've tried to pick up to the 480s in the copper market, backing off a little bit, and the dollar was stronger, and tonight we're getting a little bounce in some of the markets against it. As you know, the progress in Ukraine, it's so sad. I mean, you're just looking at the missiles coming in, the artillery hitting. There's no way that the Ukrainians, in my opinion, can win this. They can fight. They're doing a great job. And they can fight forever as groups that attack, disappear, and make life terrible for the Russians, and that's probably what they have to do. But as for keeping control of the big cities, not going to happen. The good news is Zelensky today was able to get in with Russia, and there's going to be a safe corridor for more people to leave. There's over, according to the UN, over 1,100,000 refugees already, and it's just going to keep getting worse because the assault can't be stopped. I don't see how you can. I'm going to repeat myself. The Ukrainians can do a tremendous amount of damage, and they can keep that going for years. As for beating the tanks, the missiles, the artillery, no way. And if you're watching, what's going to be left? I mean, Russia is destroying the infrastructure, and the goal is to destroy the will of the people, and there is no timetable. I've heard all the so-called people. Yeah, they're right. You know, the ground's going to change, and the big tanks can have a harder time. Well, they had that hard time before also, if you think about it, in World War II. They'll figure a way around it, unfortunately. So when we look at the weekly chart of gold, the market's coming up here. You can see how they're up $50 this week. That's power. This is a war market. Why it's not up to $2,000, I don't know, and that's the bothersome thing. I think it should have done even better during this whole week. Remember, it's week one of war. I was looking for more than that. I'm probably not right, but that's how I looked at it. You can see how the market's been gradually working its way higher. It makes lows, then it makes higher lows. You can just visually see them all the way through. The pattern is one now of higher lows and a higher high. Bullish unless the market gets back under 1916. Where are the key moving averages? Well, if you look, the 18-day average is way under the market. So if you take out that 1916, there's nothing to say you can't fall back another $20, $25 before you find major support. I'm also not saying it has to fall under that. Where the resistance is right above the market at the upper Bollinger Band. Again, the 1963.40 level. If you'll deal with what I was talking a long time ago, we were looking at these markets, and I was showing how the markets were going to start fighting at Bollinger Bands, and that's all that's been going on. You go there, you hit them, you back away. This is why you don't buy over Bollinger Bands. You get opportunities. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make here, and on those opportunities, you're carrying the market up. If we look at momentum, the market has momentum in the 70s. So for somebody like me, that follows a certain discipline, when you get readings that are overbought, even though you have an uptrend, I back away from looking at markets like that. There's better opportunities. In the gold-silver ratio, as long as you stay under the red 18-day average of closes, that favors silver over gold. And as you can see, the silver market overbought as well, same thing, but higher lows, higher highs, and it has latched on to that upper Bollinger Band, and it doesn't want to give it up. Now, there's another bullish event that is developing here, and that is where the 18-day average is getting ready to go over the 200. It's not as pretty as some of the other, what we call the death cross type trades and other events that people have for these names, but it's still an important one, and it's probably going to happen early next week. As for copper, you're sitting here, as I said, you got up towards that 480 level. You don't buy over upper Bollinger Bands the way that I teach charting. You can do whatever you want. But I think you'll be better off because I think the market will retreat. Doesn't have to retreat to the 18-day average, but it might. So you can get a 25-cent break here with nothing to it and then move again. Keep your eye that it's overbought over the upper Bollinger Band danger zone. In the platinum market, I'm going to repeat, anything that's coming out of Russia, platinum, palladium, you got to watch that. Very important. And that brings into mind, I spent the whole afternoon for tonight's report. A lot of people get my full research. And I show Ukraine crops. That's what I decided to focus on tonight. There's no major economic data coming out tomorrow to speak of. Jobs data. That'll be the one event. We're all going to watch it. The Fed will watch it. But after that, you don't have other PMIs and other key reports. It's going to be a jobs data day. And then after that, the market's going to go into the mode. What's going to happen over the weekend with the war? How does it continue? The impact on different markets. Well, I'm mentioning wheat because if you've been looking at it, it goes up the limit day after day. And it is letting people out. So it doesn't go up the permissible limit and not trade. It trades. But people keep fighting the market. You'll see why. I don't know what the number is. And I explain it with how much they produce, the world production that they do, how much they are to the export markets just prior to this week. You want to see it. All right. Lower low, higher high, resistance upper Bollinger Band, momentum up at this point. And in the palladium, well, you have now 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Now, you can't count today. 1, 2, 3. Where did you close that day? 2, 25, 37, 80. It's over the Bollinger Band. That's 3, 4 days in a row over the band. It's rare you go beyond 5. So you can get another day tomorrow, but then I would expect a correction. The market might even try to embed up here, but realize where you're at. You're back up at new highs on the palladium market, and again, it's the export part, and the dollar is super strong. It latched on to the Bollinger Band. It's what we call the gorilla glue trade. Momentum up, trend up, just churning itself higher. People that are trying to fight that dollar, you don't fight things like this. It is the safest currency in the world because we don't know that this thing can't get out of control. If you were listening today to some of the Russian people, what they were saying to the world, it was insanity, okay? I mean, Putin has surrounded himself with a bunch of nuts that want to push the go to war with the world, could be nuclear. You've got to read all the comments that are coming out of his people, and that is why the dollar keeps getting a bid, the gold is going up, and other markets with it. And I cover this every morning, first thing. At 5:20, 5:30 in the morning, I'm recording. I'm going to give you the synopsis of what's going on, be it from Asia, Europe, right back with us, key reports, what the trade is looking for, the theme of the day, what the marketplace is looking at, because that theme gets set overnight both in Asia, Europe, and comes back to us. And then over the weekend, I give you the charts with the longer term, all weekly charts, looking for ways to not get caught up in the day-to-day violence. Maybe you can trade the market better by looking at the weekly charts. You can look at it on our free phone app, your computers, whichever way you want to go. So I think you'll find a lot of information, and I want to be your go-to guy. I hope you watched me today, in fact, on Fox Business News, and I hope you did come with us to the live webinar. It was a lot of fun. We got a lot of things done, but I didn't like that I didn't get as many questions as I normally like for the webinar. Don't give me the questions. It'll get shorter and shorter. It's all about you, not me. Go to our website. Under the word research, everything's laid out there. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day.